Can you believe it? It's November already. November is the month that reminds us that letting go is a healthy part of living. With the dawning of a new day, we are reminded that we have been blessed with another opportunity to begin again. November reminds me that energy, not time, is our most valuable resource. November and the feelings of transformation that are synonymous with the simple mention of the month shifts my focus to a word that many of us fail to ponder on often, and that word is rhythm. So in an effort to begin my month, started off practicing rhythm. I gathered my things and journeyed to Starbucks in an effort to begin listening and prayerfully planning in expectation of what God has in store for me this month. November sings Ecclesiastes 3, which states, "There is a time for everything and a season for every activity under the heavens. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing, a time to search and a time to give up, a time to keep and a time to throw away, a time to tear and a time to mend, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time for love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What do workers gain from their toil? I have seen the burden God has laid on the human race. He has made everything beautiful in its time. He has also set eternity in the human heart, yet no one can fathom what God has done from the beginning to the end. God is so amazing. Matthew Kelly, in his book, The Rhythm of Life, asserts that the rhythm of life is a way of life that brings our legitimate needs, our deepest desires, and our unique talents into harmony with each other. The result is passion, purpose, and energy. We must be honest with ourselves, and we must assess our capacity. We must look at what we can supply and sacrifice versus the demand. And we have to ask ourselves, is it really worth it? We must begin to understand and embrace the blessing of life. Our longing for a way of life that fits the conditions in our heart and mind is often met with this invitation for more. More is the mantra of a Western society that esteems and lusts for more, and yet societal norms never reveal how much less we actually have. More is defined as greater, an additional amount or degree. It's the very thing we chase. But this is an illusion, because while we say we want more is a verb and it cannot be ascertained. It is the thing, the more work or more money or more time or more friends or more food or more activity that we're actually longing for. While a desire for increase is not in and of itself bad or negative, one must ask the question, how much am I losing or sacrificing in order to obtain the more, and is it more? Is it worth it? For example, more money may lead to less time with family. Which one is more important? More sleep may equal less opportunity to do the things we enjoy. A full calendar may equate to less rest. So sometimes less really is more. We must not be afraid to radically reorder our lives and begin listening to the longings of our heart. Ruth Haley Barton notes in the book Sacred Rhythms that there must come a time when we become open to questioning almost everything, letting go of the outward trappings of life and seeking that to which is our deepest longing, the raw beauty and power of real significance. And that is not defined by this world, but appears otherworldly in this world, becoming the very essence and personification of humanity is when we as one become connected to the one. From the darkness of the cocoon merges that which is beyond recognition. True transformation is leaving behind the shedding of all the remnants of what used to be. We must courageously transcend our previous experiences to become, to begin to be. Metamorphosis requires divine revelation. It requires divine transformation. It requires belief in Almighty God. It requires a surrender to the process of shedding. We cannot transform ourselves, but we can surrender, yielding our choice and creating conditions for transformation to happen. Honesty with ourselves, openness to change, and patience helps us to be healthy with ourselves and others. Sometimes the causes of the disruption in our life rhythm are deeper, and therefore we need to invest the time to reset, recalibrate, pause, and think about how we want to live. Receive the revelation and live rhythmically. This is what it means to have and live and enjoy a heart-centered journey.